When you scroll through social media from Morocco today, what do you see? Vans burning, people protesting, youngsters getting arrested, and all of this for what? There's a lot of urgency and anger coming from these young people as they shout in the streets. The stadiums are here, but where are the hospitals? Today we will dive deep into this question and try to answer it. What is happening in Morocco and why are people protesting? Stick with me till the very end to find out. Morocco is often viewed as stable in North Africa. It's had economic growth, big infrastructure projects, and is preparing to host major sport events such as the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations and co-host the 2030 FIFA World Cup. But many Moroccans, especially young people, have been feeling that this progress came at a very pricey cost. Everyday public services like schools, hospitals, and clinics have been suffering from neglect in many regions all across Morocco. Youth unemployment rates have been so high. Corruption remains a frequent complaint from these youngsters, and there has been this disconnect of the government spending billions on stadiums and nothing on hospitals and healthcare. While I looked up for what exactly triggered these protests, I couldn't find a main reason, but I saw one reason repeating in so many articles. Due to poor conditions in Al Gadir Hospital, so many pregnant women passed away, and the protests began shortly after that. You know, it's very heartbreaking. The protest began 27th or 28th of September this year. The movements were under the slogan, "The stadiums are here, but where are the hospitals?" The protests have clear demands. They want better health care, better education, less corruption. They just want the government to treat them fairly. In the beginning, all of the protests were peaceful. Youngsters gathered around and they arranged these on social media. They came in with the signs and the flags and they were ready and nobody got hurt. But by the fourth and the fifth night, things escalated. There was so many property damage reports that led to direct interactions with security forces and the police. For now, I found that more than 400 young people were arrested in the past few days in multiple cities in Morocco. 263 security officers injured and only 23 civilians, and I'm not very sure about the civilians injury number because it was the number I found on the internet, but we never know because we're not actually there. And you know, these news can get sort of like, you know, so I'm not very confident about this number, and I truly hope everyone is doing better, and I'm praying for the people who have been arrested. It's just heartbreaking. But according to the reports, when security forces opened fires, there were 2 people who tragically passed away. And in return to all of that, there has been more damages happening to the police vans, you know, the police stations, and you know, the nearby places. I think when the government gave an answer, they only focused on how these protests were violent and damaged property without actually thinking about why these people were outside their homes. I've seen a lot of youngsters speaking, like a lot of, you know, young women and men just demanding basic rights. They just want employment, they want good health care, good education, and no corruption. And it's just tragic because a lot of countries are suffering from corruption, if not all of the countries right now. And I'm praying for all of you and all of us. What Morocco is facing right now is a very big challenge, and I think and I hope and I pray that these protests are going to be the turning point where the government's actually going to listen to their voices. Because arresting and silencing people, hurting them back, I don't think that's a good solution, especially that Moroccans are one of the most stubborn nations I've ever met in my life. So trying to silence them isn't probably the best idea out there. I mean, why not just listen? Why do a lot of governments find it so hard to just listen? And I'm talking from someone who comes from a country where its government rarely listens to anything we say. So It's just so sad. I think this was pretty much it. I couldn't find a lot of things about this. I mean, on the internet, when I was online and I was scrolling, I saw a lot of people. But when I actually went on the internet looking up articles, I think that the researches were very limited. And I don't know if it's maybe just me, but I feel like this case needs more awareness and, you know, sending all the love and support to you guys. I hope everything goes well. I hope the youngsters who have been arrested gets released very soon. I'm hoping the people who are injured heals very soon, and I'm hoping that your voices get heard. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you and see you soon.